Hi there, Aquarius. I hope you guys are doing really well. I wanted to say thank you for your patience. I appreciate all of you. I would like to get into a reading for the month of February for the rest of the month. This is a general reading for the rest of February 2024. Before we get into it, I do want to let you guys know that I am having it's basically like a personal reading special, right now, where one question is $30. Each additional question is $15, and $100 for a one-on-one session with me. All of them will be recorded for you. And you could pay on PayPal or Cash App for that, for people, if that's helpful. Okay, so yeah, if this is something that you want, feel free to contact me at thealtruisticmystic@gmail.com, and I will get in touch with you soon. Okay, for the month of February, Aquarius, I feel like you guys are dealing with a lot of a lot of heaviness, to be quite honest with you, a lot of difficulty in I want to say resonance with yourself, but due to situations that are external to you. I feel like you guys are having a time trying to navigate your feelings in regard to maintaining your own stability, your own internal world stability, as well as the external, where it feels like you may be affected by others and their actions or their inactions. um, you have the Three of Pentacles in reverse here as your main energy, Aquarius. So this is kind of interesting just because it can talk about a lack of symbiosis, a lack of cohesion. This can also talk about uh, not being motivated to engage in something, or sometimes it can also talk about like ego or competition, problematic egoic issues with people. Right next to it, you have discipline as your oracle card. So it says discipline. I can accomplish what I set my mind to. And it feels here, just kind of looking at everything. Well, I'll get into it. Okay. This is your action, your approach to this month. You've got the judgment, justice in reverse. You've got the Seven of Wands upright for your communication. You've got the Ten of Cups in reverse for your health, the Knight of Pentacles for your finance and job, and then the Eight of Cups in reverse for your romantic connections or personal connections. So as far as your approach goes, Aquarius, it feels here that there's an element of needing to really be honest about what we are engaging in, what we are allowing ourselves to, I guess I want to say, deny. There's an element here of like pulling back because I don't feel like we have a cohesive connection here. Your action with this Justice card in reverse, it talks about situations where there's a lack of responsibility, okay? Whether that's you or another person, it just feels like there's a lack of responsibility all throughout this reading here. There's a lack of fairness. There's maybe some dishonesty. It's a lot of disharmony here, and I feel like we are having kind of a difficulty trying to piece together how this hasn't been resolved, as it feels like it hasn't been resolved. Discipline here almost feels like it takes discipline to pull you back from wanting to engage with this any further, and it pulls on the heartstrings even more. So the approach here is to really disengage with people or situations that are not honest, that have been problematic in a way that has been demeaning to you, where, it's been a dishonest situation altogether. And it's like, well, what do we have to show for it? Nothing. It's like there's no resolve. So it almost feels like there's like this discipline for you to pull back and continue to hold back. In your communications here, Gemini, I almost said Gemini, so maybe some of you are dealing with a Gemini. Aquarius, you have the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands is about protecting yourself. It's about honest, keeping a boundary, it's like defending your own spot on something. It's like you see a situation to be challenging, and it's kind of worked your nerves. So it's like you're trying to maintain your control in a situation, to have discipline in pulling back, in protecting yourself, in, minding your own business. It's a protective energy. Okay. That is the communication coming toward you or being given by you. And it's in consideration of somebody you may not be on the same page with this person any longer. It almost feels like if we are talking about a person, there's a lot of, I want to say the discipline has been distant, or no, the distance has been disciplined. It's like I'm going to do what I can to not engage this at all. It's like this disconnect is what I'm feeling here, Aquarius. So do with that what you will, but the communication is a very protective one either way, whatever your situation is. For your health energy, you have the Ten of Cups in reverse, which is kind of a... I want to talk about... I feel like we're talking about a person here, okay? I don't want to like just say, okay, everybody, all of the Aquarians are dealing with a person, but there's an element here where some of you may be, and it feels like there's an emotional... it's like being let down emotionally. It's like having a lot of love and a lot of like dedication in a connection, and then it's just being gone. There's like no stability in it, and it affects you in an emotional state, in an emotional way. In regard to none of that and just it on its own, this can talk about like unforeseen health issues, situations that you haven't, you were fine, one day, and then the next day, let's say you pulled I don't know, you gave yourself a hernia, or there's some sort of like surprise, like, shift in your health. And it can also talk about like imbalance, wherever that may be in your life. I feel a lot of emotional imbalance with this, so I'll be honest. And there's a lot of, if we are talking about a connection, it's really emotionally imbalanced. It's just not even fair right now. It's just not fair at all. And you're protecting yourself from having to deal with that again and again. Yeah. So, for some of you, pay attention to your diet. Get on board with your diet. I'm not talking about like, oh, get skinny and whatever. I'm talking about be mindful about your health and your nutrition, okay? Get on board with that. Be in connection with that. Also, too, if you've had doctors tell you, hey, it would be good if you stopped eating a bag of jelly beans every night, or whatever it is, maybe it's important for you to pay attention to that, just because it feels like we've kind of done ourselves an injustice in regard to how we may have kind of disregarded our own health. Okay, Aquarius? So just be mindful about that. This will take discipline, but in the long run, you'll be far better for it. In your finances, you have the Knight of Pentacles. This is great. I like this. It does talk about new opportunities. It talks about in your position, like say, if you work for somebody, this can talk about a status bump. It can talk about you coming to a new position in your job, new opportunities. This is also somebody who is it's like very steadfast. It's patient. The effort is well worth the outcome. Like it's something that you take time and you build, but it's solid here. Okay. I feel here too, for some of you, you may be better off alone. So if you are an entrepreneur, I feel like you will be flourishing in this month. Honestly, it feels like your finances, your money is up. It feels like you have the opportunity to really, really build money in a really good way. But some of you, that may require you to be kind of like a solo act, a solo situation. So yeah, but either way, good information, good money, good stability here coming your way. And I think it's going to also, again, take discipline. I don't feel like you've been connected, Aquarius. Like some of you have been disconnected from a lot of things, possibly from, pain in your life. Maybe it's been difficult to detach from that, but I feel it's kind of like bleeding out in different areas. And I feel it's probably important for you to be available to make a shift, make a direction, a course correction. Okay. Get on the ball with what you need to do in your life right now, because it's important that you, allow yourself the opportunity to change things for yourself, give yourself a better footing. In your romantic and emotional, romantic love connection energy, you have the Eight of Cups in reverse. It's not the nicest card to have in a love connection. You know, I feel here, first of all, it can be seen, I'm going to read it two ways. It can be seen as a situation that we've left and now it's re emerging in our lives, but there's still disharmony. There's still a lack of justice or honesty. We're still protecting ourselves. The emotions have been, pretty much drained or stomped all over, and it's like now there may be somebody that wants to communicate more, or we're trying to figure out the patient route, the long route. This could also be somebody where it's like they completely disappeared and here they are now. And the thing about this guy is, yeah, he's great with business and finance and like, doing that type of stuff. But when it comes to romantic decision making, this is the slowest guy in the deck. This can be like months to years. Okay, so it really depends on your situation. Again, this is not going to be resonant for every single Aquarius, but that feels very much like that. And it's like you've already left. I feel that there's an element here, Aquarius, where things have gotten so tumultuous between you two that you've already left. The Eight of Cups in reverse, also, the other meaning, can talk about where we are exhausted by a situation. We've evaluated it, we've reevaluated it, and the outcome is something that is proven for us to just really want to let go of. It's what I'm feeling here is it may not be present in your life right now, but it's present in your heart. It's present in your mind, and there's like a tugging, a tugging from injustice here. It feels like, and I don't even know like if this person were to communicate with you, how far it would get, because you still have the Seven of Wands as your communication card. This is all about that protective energy and not being on the same page with somebody, So I say be mindful of the energy that you put into this. Be very, very careful in how you choose your direction. Be very diligent in your finances, because I feel like that is going to be soaring this month. I feel like, honestly, if you engage in these other things, it can be a detraction from this. It can detract from your finance and your stability here. And I feel like that is necessary, because it feels like this has already taken enough of your time emotionally, mentally. So it's important that you guys get on the same page with the direction and goal of your life, rather than being stuck in a uncomfortable situation internally, mentally, because it doesn't feel like you've gotten any resolve from a person, or from a business, from a company, from whomever. This could also be family. So it's important for you to be very disciplined in how you engage your energy moving forward, rather than wallowing or hurting or trying to find a different way to make this effective when it's not really yours to make effective. That's something that happens when we're in unison, and this is not in unison at all. So this is almost like an exercise in discipline to stay away from something. Doesn't mean you can't have clear, cohesive communication and like have that what's that called, closure, have that recognize, or it's like somebody taking responsibility. I'll leave it like that. But allow that if it's to come, but we're not holding on. We're actually freeing ourselves, and that feels far better. Okay, so that is what I have for you, Aquarius. I hope that this was helpful. Yours was far more of a relationship reading than I think any of the other signs were. But if this does not resonate, feel free to look at your any of the other videos for your placements, okay? And if you want a personal reading, feel free to contact me at thealtruisticmystic@gmail.com, and I'll get back to you soon. Take care, you guys. I love you. Bye-bye.